Here's what's trending on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, so Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Listen, over the weekend, a lot of people had something to say about a dress that the Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife, Karrie, wore to a big fundraising event.
Yeah, Ricky. His wife's name is Dr. Karrie Turner Bryant. She's also a minister, and she's changing the story of what the First Lady looked like, of today. Now, she wore this dress, which was form-fitting, flesh-toned. It was a gown. She wore it to the UNC Mayor's Ball, and it had a lot of folks clutching their pearls, as if Gary would say it. Now, if you haven't seen the dress, you can go to Rickey Smiley Morning Show on our Instagram stories to check it out.
Yeah, so Dr. Bryant and Dr. Karrie got married in November 2024. Y'all remember, in a lavish, very non-traditional wedding, complete with designer gowns and unapologetic style. And the internet was split about the gown she wore to the UNCF event. Now, some people supported her and others slammed that dress of choice. There was so much talk about it online, in fact, that that Pastor Bryant had to address it, and here's what he said.
The other day, the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund.
Hello?
They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now, you got to help some people, because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through.
Come on.
The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress.
Come on now.
I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not.
Come on
She
now.
ain't married to y'all. She married to me.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, some people praised his defense of her dress, while others questioned the message he sent about leadership in the church.
So today we want to know, what do you think about the dress and how you feel about about Pastor Jamal Bryant? What he said about his wife wearing the dress. Brad, what are your thoughts?
Man, I love what he said. I love how he supported his wife and stood up for her, because he could have just not said anything. But I appreciate the fact that he said something. The dress is mesh, but people that don't know think it's like a see-through dress, and it is not. And it's not 1970. It's not 1980. It is 2026. Okay, like she looked beautiful and radiant, and we are talking about her because she was so beautiful and radiant.
Yeah, Gary.
Well, I said yes to the dress. I love the dress. And the thing is, though, but I do understand what people are trying to say and what people are saying.
What are they trying to say?
Okay, because the deal is with Karrie being the first lady. A first lady back in yesteryear wore, honey, she
didn't
covered
marry
up.
a new birth?
No, she's not married to New Birth. But, back then, when people look at and think of a first lady, they think of a woman who just well covered up, not wearing a dress like that dress. Although that dress was at a gala, it was not at church. It was at a gala, so she could wear that.
Carol Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Well, I read what some people
Harriet
think.
Tubman.
I read a lot of the commentary about it, and I've been thinking about this all weekend, and me and my wife discussed it. I think the people's opposition to it, some of it is what Gary was saying, but I think some of it comes in with modesty and modesty and discretion.
Right.
That if you're gonna be in this position, then sometimes you have to use a different level of modesty and discretion, because at the end of the day, yes, she looked amazing in the dress, but from a man's perspective, the dress did brings out a lustful spirit in most men that's going to be looking at it.
And her husband bought her that dress. I'm sorry.
I get it,
ahead,
but I just understand where people's opposition was coming from. It don't matter to me either way.
Yeah, I don't understand, because the event was not at church. They have a right to she have a right to dress, put on whatever she wants when she go to an event. Now, if it was Women's Day program or the pastor's anniversary or
communion or something.
Or communion is inside of the church, or are they doing anything sacred within the walls of the church? That's one thing. But for her to go to an event, she's young, she's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, why can't she express herself? You can't put people in a box. She didn't marry New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. She married him, and that was to his satisfaction because he the one got to go home with her or whatever. And we don't care about what other people think. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was what do you call it? Mesh.
Yeah. Flesh color.
Flesh tone.
Flesh color a tone dress, which would give the illusion of see-through, but it's not see-through. And I'm glad that he got their ass straight. People always got to start talking. If you don't like the dress, look the other way.
Okay.
If you don't like what somebody posts on their page or whatever, keep scrolling. I block women every day with that smart ass mouth coming on somebody's page, coming into somebody's space, imposing your opinion on somebody else's page or what you think about how they live their life.
But on the other hand, sometimes I dress risque. I'm not a church lady. I'm not a first lady.
Yeah.
And when I'm with my husband, I will sometimes dress risque. But just because I can wear it doesn't mean I should. Her body is amazing. She is gorgeous. But I do think that just because you can fit it and you look good in it, I do think there's something to be said for subtleness.
Anything she wear is going to fit her
agree.
shape.
Yes.
If she wear a jogging suit, it's going to fit her body. She can't help the way she's shaped. She's beautiful.
Agreed, but I don't know if it should have been flesh tone. That's just my opinion. There's some things I put on. I'm like, I can't wear this.
And I think some people had issue with the way the design on the front of the dress was kind of centered in on a certain area.
So you're private.
I get it. I get where he coming from. He want everybody to see what he working with.
But my thing is, as long as he like it,
okay,
because that's his wife.
She's not
whatever.
disrespecting him.
And it's like the question is why should she? Why shouldn't she?
Yeah, well, people said, like you said, as long as he like it, but then some people said, well, he need to like it in the house and not bring it out.
She can go wear that in the house.
Well, the argument is she wasn't naked.
No, she wasn't naked.
She was covered up from her neck.
But the look, I mean, if you go to Rickey Smiley Morning Show, it looked like she was, and
that flesh dress matched her flesh skin tone too. So that was
the point of it.
That's
the point. They wanted to look naked, but the question is, people are saying that in that position, should you have that as your focus?
So as a man and as women, what do we do when we see something that's uncomfortable? We look off. You know what I'm saying? That person that your daughter's friends from college, and they come down to the kitchen with basketball with shorts on. You look off because that's uncomfortable. And I tell my daughter, say, hey, can you tell her to go put something else on? We got teenage boys in the house. You just look away or whatever, because that's in the realms of the house. But when something makes you uncomfortable, you just don't zoom in and focus on it. You just look off and you just go ahead about your business. Oh, but that's just me. I want to know what y'all think. 866, this is a good topic. 866-9-RICKY, 866-9-RICKY. Good morning.
My name is Katrina. I'm calling from Birmingham, Alabama. I feel like it was not too much. The fabric is illusion fabric. It's not like it was complete see-through. It wasn't see-through at all. It was illusion fabric with her skin tone on lace. I feel like people need to chill out. This is not 1960s. First ladies today do not dress like your grandmamas did in 1960.
I don't feel like it was too much for her to wear because it was not a church event. And if her husband liked the dress and told her that she's able to wear the dress, I think it's fine because God is not coming back for the clothes that we have on. And we got so much other things going on in the world today than to be worried about a dress.
Yes, my name is Nikki, and I'm calling from Tampa. And me being a girl that is out and about occasionally, I would say, to be perfectly honest, and I'm just not a girl that's in church every single Sunday, so don't think that I'm one of those women in the church. I'm not hating. I think she was gorgeous. I think it was fire. But to be perfectly honest, it gives the illusion of newness. And who would even want somebody to be able to envision their wife as nude? And if she states she's a pastor, yes, ma'am, it was a tad bit too much. So let's be honest. They should just call it what it is and say, hey, we made a mistake, drop the ball, and move on from it.
Yeah, but the other folks need to move on from it too. Everybody need to move on from it. But we're not moving on from it because that's why we're talking about this morning. Hey, so if you didn't see the dress, you can check it out on our stories on our IG page at Rickey Smiley Morning Show. What do you say, Brett?
But
But yeah. And give us a call. Let us know what you think. We're gonna be talking about it more. 8669-RICKEY, 8669-RICKEY. Hit us up, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, listen, we're talking about the dress that Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife, Karrie, wore recently to a big event, and the internet had a lot to say about it. And Pastor Bryant came to his wife's defense, and he said that he liked it, and he bought the dress. And but we want to know what you think. Was the dress nice or was it inappropriate? We ride with Dr. Bryant and his wife. I'm just saying, we ride.
Right.
Brett, we ride. No, Gary, what were you saying? What were you sitting here saying just now?
You know what?
Yeah.
Gary
now
said I'm gonna speak for Gary right now. He's on the toilet.
Nope.
But he's
not on the toilet. He's sitting right here looking crazy. Go ahead.
Oh my God, he likes the dress. He said he likes the dress. I got you, Gary. He likes the dress, and the dress was, mesh. But he said he understands how the older people may feel offended.
Is he calling me older?
Somebody to text Gary and threaten him.
Hey,
all right, let's go to the.
You think there's a difference? Somebody asked me this question before. Is there a difference between church folk and people that go to church?
That's a good question.
People that go to church, they're there, they want to get the word, and they really want to, learn something spiritually, become the best versions of themselves. And then you got church folk who may think they know it all, and they always looking for things that everybody is not doing right.
The ones that be mean in restaurants after church.
Come on,
yeah. That's a whole topic. You ask restaurant owners and people that work in hotel who are the meanest people. They'll say church conventions.
My Lord.
And the more saved they are, and the more Holy Ghost filled they are, the worse. Like this one. It's a whole topic. Like if you ask, and I asked because I did for myself. I asked the person at a hotel who are the worst people. He said church convention. He said the church people, man, the mean, and then they said that certain stuff that you can get on the TV channel, those go up.
Really?
They said the numbers go up on some of the
big adult entertainment stuff.
The adult entertainment stuff when they had church conventions. All right, 8669-RICKEY, 8669-RICKEY. Good morning.
No, I don't. My name is Tiffany Lewis, coming from Mansfield, Texas. And I believe a first lady should be able to wear whatever she wants to wear. Dr. Karrie is very educated, and I believe the church needs to back off.
Yes, her name is Monica. Yeah, I think it was a bit too much. The scripture says, to whom much is given, much is required. And she got young women who are following them. They're really in the limelight right now. So she could have chose a better dress because it already, people come to church any type of way anyway. And now she's just making it where they can come with all kind of worldly dress.
It was not. Good morning and Happy New Year to all. I'm calling from the St. Louis area. It was not a church event. It was a mask ball. It was very appropriate for a mayor's mask ball. It was not a church event, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. This is Deshawn. I'm calling from Memphis. My personal opinion is that she's a beautiful woman. She's a voluptuous woman. I think it was a bit much for a pastor's wife. He said that he was married to her and we were not married to her. And I feel like certain things you really should keep between you and your spouse. I just feel like it was just a little bit much. It could have been a little bit better, less fitting for her figure. I think sometimes when you do that, you cause people to look at her in a sexual fashion, which they should not be for a first lady.
So if she was skinny, would that be a different conversation?
I don't think that's what it's about. I think it was, and one caller put it, she's like, well, it almost looked like she's naked, even though she wasn't naked. Why would you want people to think that you're naked? And so,
we were born naked. They talk about that in the Bible.
That's true, yeah.
And I wasn't even born naked. I was born butt naked.
Oh, boy.
That's
Bucket.
What's that?
Bucket naked.
I can't believe I disagree with everybody on the show this morning, but I just,
I see where you're coming from. 'Cause I
Trust.
kind of feel the same way.
When I'm with my husband, I'm looking like a straight little whore. But I'm saying, but I'm not a pastor's wife. You know what I mean? No.
But the thing about it is, for me, Alfred, as long as you ain't wearing it in, church or certain stuff like that, because sometimes people like to express themselves fashion-wise. And if you look at Dr. Jamal Bryant and his wife, they are really into fashion. If you look at his suits, his shirts, his glasses, the clothes she wear. There are just some people that love fashion and clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them. You know, I like to dress and go all out, you know, or whatever, and collect clothes and buy pieces and stuff. And I always been like that, you know.
But Ricky.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, and again, I don't care. Okay, let's get that out there. I don't care. But on the other side of that, do you really think that a prominent pastor wants to give the illusion that his wife is, her first perception of her is to be a sex symbol? That's what people are equating that type of dress
They've
to.
seen her
and I'm
dress
just saying,
different.
I'm just saying,
she got to be a woman of one style.
No, it's not about that. But it's a lot of this goes back to perception. What is the image that you're trying to put out there? And that's just the image a lot of people have gotten from it, is that you want to be a sex symbol, not
Let me ask y'all
a symbol
something.
of the church.
Let me ask everybody something.
Yeah.
Was Charles Ingalls turned on when he walked in the house and saw Carol Ingalls with that dress on and that thing on her head?
He sure was.
Yes, he was.
He sure was.
Because, honey, once she got out of the surprise, honey, the element of the surprise.
Wait a minute, are we talking about Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah, we're talking about Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Charles got hyped when he came with that doggone.
Now they had a lot of children. They had Laura Ingalls. They had the oldest daughter that was blind.
Hold on.
And then they adopted Willis from Different Strokes. And then they had that baby named Katie. What was the baby name?
This is 1981 reference.
Yeah. They had 4 children.
Okay.
And then he adopted Willis.
Just
That played on Different Strokes. But I ain't never seen Carol Ingalls or Nellie Olsen mama. She was dressed. Even Kate. Kate had hoes. Kate on Gunsmoke, she had hoes. She was running a brothel. She had on a dress that wasn't revealing nothing. The prostitutes had on a slip. They was all covered up. You see what I'm saying? So I
Nellie
don't know.
could get
We
it.
went
Though.
back to Little House on the Prairie.
Who you said? Talking about Nellie Olsen?
Yeah, Nellie Olsen could have got it.
That's the blind girl, right?
Yeah. No, Nellie Olsen was the spoiled brat of Muslim Miss Olsen. But boy, when Laura pushed her ass down that hill in that wheelchair.